Hi, I'm Lucy Phipps of Guildford Yoga. Today I'm going to talk you through a breathing practice, a very deep, restful breathing practice. You don't need any equipment and you can lie on the floor as you do this, or you can sit as I'm doing, cross-legged, sitting up straight. You could even have a wall behind you, or you could sit in a chair if you'd like a support for your back. If you're going to do that, try and make sure that you're not slumping back. Sit back into the chair and encourage the spine to be vertical. So get yourself into your comfortable position, however you're going to be. If you're on your back, have your legs slightly apart and give the legs a shake out. Feel free to put a support underneath the back of your knees if that makes you feel more comfortable. And then when you're ready, we're going to take one hand onto the opposite collarbone and the other hand onto the other collarbone. Just make sure that you can feel the collarbones easily underneath your hands. And then with your eyes closed, start to take deep breaths. Long, deep, slow breaths. Feel as if you're filling and emptying your lungs. And taking those deep breaths, try to direct the breath upwards into the top part of the lungs so that you feel the collarbones moving underneath your hands. Sending the breath into the very top part of the lungs. Keep going, flushing out this top part of the lungs. So in general, normal, easy, everyday breathing, we only use a small proportion of the lungs, maybe 10 or 20%. And the remaining 80 or 90%, the air becomes a little bit stale, becomes more full of carbon dioxide. So this kind of deep breathing practice helps to flush out those parts of the lungs that are not used in every day. It's like brushing away the cobwebs, shifting that stale air and replacing it with fresh, more oxygen-rich air. So this breathing practice will be stimulating, uplifting and energizing. Keep going, have a few more breaths like this, directing your breath right to the very top of the lungs, underneath the collarbones. Feeling the collarbones rise and fall with the breath. Take one last breath like this. Finishing on your next breath out. And then you can move the hands and take them onto your side ribs. If you're lying on the floor, make sure the elbows are supported by the floor. And then keep taking deep breaths, filling and emptying your lungs. And this time, direct the breath into the side ribs. See if you can feel the side ribs expanding outwards with your breath in. And then gently recoiling and dropping downwards on the breath out. breath be as slow as you need to, keeping the breath deep, so filling and emptying the lungs. And this time flushing out the side rib part of the lungs, the middle lobes. Let's have 3 more breaths like this. Finishing on a breath out. And then when you have finished, take your hands to your abdomen. And again, if you're lying on the floor, make sure the elbows are supported. Let's keep taking these long, deep breaths, eyes closed. This time directing your breath down into the lowest part of the lungs. See if you can feel your abdomen expand as you breathe in. And gently contract as you breathe out. Breathing into the abdomen. Flushing out the very lowest part, the bottom of the lungs. And replacing that stale air, carbon dioxide rich stale air, replacing it with fresh, oxygen rich air. And take 3 more breaths as you are. Last 3 full breaths. Make sure you finish on a breath out. And then when you finish those 3 breaths, finishing on a breath out, release the hands. If you're sitting up, you can just rest the hands on the legs, palms up. If you're lying on your back, rest the back of the hands on the floor, palms up. And then return to normal breathing. And just see how you feel. Notice how subtle the breath is. So if you're lying on the floor, When you're ready, bend the knees, give them a hug, and roll to your side, right side. Have a few breaths there. And then come to sitting when you're ready. If you're already in the sitting position, when you're ready, open your eyes. So thank you very much. If you'd like to know more about my classes, feel free to check out my website, GuildfordYoga.co.uk. There's more videos and you can join live classes, of course, as well if you wish. Thank you very much. Take care. See you again soon.